Coming to you live in a world where a wall will be built to stop fake jailbreaks. This is Jailbreak Weekly, episode number 30, and we are here to make the community great again. My name is Justin Wack, and today with me I have my co-host, Mr. Andy Hoff.
What's up, Justin? How's that wall coming?
The wall is going great.
Going good? Very successful?
Oh yeah, because I've got David Burns, my other co-host, helping me out with that wall.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Busters. Yep.
Yeah. So Jailbreak Busters been extremely active over the past few days.
Oh yes. Very, very.
Lots
active.
of scams.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just hoping a new Jailbreak comes out soon. That's all I'm hoping for.
Waiting on a jailbreak.
That should seriously be a song.
Actually, that is a song. I played that at my mini talk at Jailbreak Con.
Is it really?
I do remember that. Yeah.
Well, I remember a song called
that.
Jailbreak, but I didn't know
that. Yeah, I played that song at my mini talk at Jailbreak Con. Which, speaking of which, the dates have finally been announced, and they are set for the 9th and 10th of July.
Yes, that is super exciting. I am a huge fan of Jailbreak Con, as everyone probably knows by now. And it's perfect timing for me. Anywhere in July is great, and especially 9th and 10th, right at the beginning of the summer. It's just perfect.
Jailbreak Con is great.
I love Jailbreak Con.
Jailbreak Con is, a very unique experience, and if it's something that you can possibly attend, you really should.
Definitely do it for sure.
It's really worth it. Like, I remember my first year going to Jailbreak Con, no clue what to expect, didn't know anyone really in the community, and that was how I met a whole bunch of people in the community. Like, I probably wouldn't know any of you guys if I hadn't gone to Jailbreak Con in the first place. I wouldn't know Andy, I wouldn't know Jarek, I wouldn't know David, wouldn't know...
to a lesser extent me, because I haven't been there, but like...
But I met you through Andy and Jarek.
That's true.
And
everything
I met
links.
Andy and Jarek through when I went to Jailbreak Con. So, I mean, Jailbreak Con was a very big moment. So, yeah, I mean, if you can go, definitely go, because... not only the social aspect, but the talks are really, really great as well. And
by the way, I just wanted to throw out there, it's in San Francisco. We don't know the venue just as of right now, but all we know is it's going to be in San Francisco, and again, it's July 9th and July 10th.
The venue was fun last year. I liked the venue last year.
Me too, actually. Yeah.
It was. I mean, the South San Francisco one was nice, but the problem with the South San Francisco one was that it was out of the way. So like you had to drive to South San Francisco, whereas like with this one was nice because you could stay right in San Francisco. Like, we could walk to my hotel we had to take Uber.
It was a very interesting venue. I think it was like an old concert hall or something.
Yeah,
so it was very cool. There was like candles everywhere. It was just kind of a unique setting. So.
And, and then we'd go back to the hotel afterwards, and me, Jarek, and Andy, because unfortunately David wasn't able to make it. And, oh man, the stories that we have from Jailbreak Con, it's just...
Well, that's definitely another reason why you should go. I mean, I haven't been to Jailbreak Con yet. Hopefully I go. I'm probably not going to go this year just because it just doesn't seem like I'm going to be able to. Maybe I will, but I'm probably not going to be able to. Hopefully, I'm hoping by next year I might or might not be able to. I guess it depends on really where they're going to have it. But I think I feel like probably San Francisco's probably going to be almost definite just because it seems like that's the sweet spot. Like, that's where they like
past
it.
Few years.
Yeah, sure. I know it's really inconvenient for you, David, but...
Yeah, same here. I mean, it's far for me in Boston.
But I think that San Francisco is probably, in the U.S., the ideal venue just because it's the heart of Silicon Valley. It's... a lot of tech people live in San Francisco or near San Francisco, so... Yeah, and I mean, for me it's nice because it's only like a 3-hour flight, so I'll take that over a 6-hour flight from Boston, I guess, right? You got to keep in mind, though, flights in the U.S. are cheaper than they are up here. Like, for me to fly to San Francisco, well, last year I got a really good deal. It was only like $400, but like, I've seen prices on it up to $1,000 for 2 tickets before, so it's expensive to fly from here to... But anyway.
Yeah, it's expensive. It's extremely expensive in the U.S. too. I mean, like... I don't know if I'm speaking for, like, everywhere in the U.S. In New Jersey, like, I looked at, because, Ann and I were, like, trying to strategize if I would ever be able to get up there. And I looked at, plane ticket prices, and it was through the roof. It was ridiculous, the prices.
How much was it?
It was like upwards of 1,000. It was really, really
Yeah,
expensive.
round trip like 1,000. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
But at the same time, like, I was able to find ones. If you book in advance, you could get it. Maybe if you're really lucky to like $500 or $400.
Yeah,
so
I got mine to
that's
400 last year. I was lucky, and that was back when the dollar was about equal. So like it was about 400 American dollars as well. But I don't think that'll happen this year if I'm able to go. So hopefully I'm able to go. We'll see.
Yeah,
But,
same here.
right, same here.
Because I know Craig put a bunch of stuff on it on his Snapchat. Did he put what's going on each day, or did they?
I don't think they've talked about that yet. I
Okay,
guess
so
in the coming
they've
days.
just said that the days. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the website isn't updated. It's basically just he tweeted it out and he put it on a Snapchat. So hopefully we'll be receiving more news in the coming days, weeks, etc. So
You know what I
Yeah.
want this year for Jailbreak Con? I want Andy to do a mini talk. That would be interesting. About,
Okay.
like, jailbreak about like being a
You know
jailbreak
what?
YouTuber.
I would lie if I say that I haven't been thinking about it. I don't really know what I would present, but you know
Just
what?
like-
It's up
Talk
there.
about-
It's in my
talk-
brain.
Yeah, just talk about being in jailbreak. Like, honestly, from what I could, because like none of the big guys really go to Jailbreak Con anymore. From
Yeah.
like,
Right.
excluding like Marciano Phone, who is like I'm saying like none of the guys that like speak English on their channel
Right.
are like big guys are like actually going to Jailbreak Con anymore. So
That's
it's like.
true.
You kind of have because your channel isn't huge, but it's not that small either. So you kind of have a little bit of an advantage there.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun, you know, or even if it doesn't necessarily relate to my channel, just doing something, obviously. For me, it would be non-technical, but just doing something, you know, with the jailbreak community. I don't know, I have a few ideas, and maybe I'll run them by, you know, Twitter or something, so. It's just something I'm thinking about, so you may or may not hear something about that, but. Anyways, moving down the list here, beyond Jailbreak Con, we have some great tweaks to talk about as well. So, I guess we'll start off with BrickDate, and this is actually something that we talked about last week. It's the 1970 error. That's basically something that's currently in iOS. If you set your date back to January 1st, 1970, your phone will basically be permanently brick. This has been all over the media, mainstream, jailbreak, everywhere. And basically, BrickDate, what it will allow you to do is it's going to stop changing your date to January 1st, 1970 from bricking your phone. So it basically fixes that issue. And this is yet again another instance that we see the jailbreak community providing a fix for a bad bug before Apple does. So I think this is really cool. So what do you guys think?
So we saw this kind of with the entire, effective power chaos that happened. I don't even know how long ago, but what that was is essentially it was, a string of text where if you sent it to somebody and somebody received it and that person had an iPhone, the device would panic and it would respring either, just if you were non-jailbroken, it would just simply respring the phone, or if you were jailbroken, it would go ahead and crash to safe mode. So the jailbreak community developed a fix for this. Basically, it would just say like malicious text removed if you got that, if somebody sent it to you.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
See, this is one of the benefits of jailbreaking, and I find it ironic because people with jailbreaking, they like to say, "Oh, jailbreak makes your device so unstable and it's really buggy and slow." But here's the thing: jailbreakers get bug fixes before anyone else does.
Right. That's true. You're right.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, and that's something that I always like to, it's one of the convincing points that I use when explaining jailbreaking to people.
Like, this is a prime example. Jailbreakers get bug fixes. Now, that being said, I do think this whole 1970 thing is, like, really blown out of proportion.
I don't know. It's pretty bad. Like, you could pick up any phone and brick it.
It's bad, but, I mean, are you really going to go and set your own phone to 1970?
No, but I'll tell you what, and this is the scary part, is that if you're around a lot of people, they know your passcode or your phone's unlocked or whatever, and you have a friend that's playing around with your phone or whatever. If they know this exists, then you're basically screwed because they can.
BioProtect?
Well,
That's
if
true.
you're okay,
BioLockdown,
let's just assume.
BioProtect,
Let's just assume for the moment. Let's just assume that is not present on the phone. Let's say maybe it's jailbroken, maybe it's not jailbroken. If it is jailbroken, let's assume that it's not present. You don't have BioLockdown on that.
Okay, but
Then it becomes an issue.
But here's my thing with that, though. It takes a long time because you got to go manually through the dates and stuff.
Right.
It takes a long time to set that. So realistically,
Yeah.
you're
I mean,
probably
I have.
gonna see them doing it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I have a few friends that I've either jailbroken their devices or I've talked about jailbreaking their devices or whatever, and their devices are jailbroken, and they have no clue as to anything really that, from a technical standpoint, that the iPhone does, the jailbreak does, whatever. They have no clue. So for somebody like me or you or Andy or whoever that knows about all of this and says, hey, can I play around with your phone? Oh, sure, whatever. And they don't have a tweak to protect, the settings or whatever, then that person could get in and do this super easily.
Yeah, which is true, and I'll give you that. But I guess for me, it seems really blown out of proportion because no one touches my phone. Like, I'm very possessive about my iPhone. No one touches my iPhone.
Right, and you know what? That's me too, and I think that goes without saying probably for most of the people in the community, just because I feel like it's just kind of been just because of the way Apple structures things. Like, okay, you're going to jailbreak iOS 9, boom, 9.1. Now there's no,
exactly. You worry that people are going to somehow mess up your phone.
Exactly,
and
you have to restore.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I think, because in your head you're playing a game of survival, you don't want to lose.
Survival mode, exactly.
You just kind of want to make sure you maintain your jailbreak. And if someone's screwing around with your phone and they don't know what they're doing and they end up messing up your phone and you have to restore.
Yeah. Either way, this tweak is definitely a good tweak, and this is one of the reasons why jailbreaking is awesome, quite frankly, because you can do stuff like this. So, yeah, this is a nice tweak. And is this free, Andy?
It is free. Yeah, it's called BrickDate. And also, I just wanted to touch on basically how it works. It just completely prevents you from manually setting your date. So basically, when you go to the date settings and you have set automatically disabled and you tap on the date, the wheel that basically lets you roll your date back is just completely gone. So it just disables the ability to set your time manually. So potentially that could be a downside if you want to do that, but at the same time, it does fix this issue. So.
The only thing I could see that being a downside for is I think you have to do that a lot for like emulators and stuff. But
that's true.
Otherwise,
there's that.
I think it'd be good.
There's that, but also sometimes, and I had to bring this up, also sometimes when I'm like shooting videos and it's like super, super late, 2, 3 in the morning, and I don't want people knowing that like I'm shooting videos
I
at 2,
think you've
3
said
in the
this
morning.
before.
Yeah. Sometimes I like to change it back to like 9:40, a.m. or whatever to pay homage to the original. I think it was 9:40, right? When the original
9:41. Yep, 9:41.
9:41, yeah. To pay homage to the original iPhone. So sometimes I like to do that just because, it looks nicer from a visual standpoint. And then also, too, it's better that people don't know that I'm up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning filming a video.
I have no shame. Anyways.
I don't know. I just feel like somebody's going to see it. They're going to be like, wow, you stay up super, super late and just, like, have a huge conversation with me. And I'm going to be like, okay.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I'm not bothered by it. Everyone knows I'm a night owl, but anyways, once again, BrickDate available for free. So next up we have Meteor. And basically, this tweak will allow you to view your current weather conditions, directly on the weather app icon and in the status bar. And it does this in a very visually appealing way. Everything looks very native, and if Apple were to implement live updates on the weather app, I think it would look something similar to this. So it's just a quick way to look at your weather, and again, it's in the status bar as well, just up in the right corner. And it's just a really cool tweak. So what do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, weather in the status bar is definitely something that I think could be a help for a lot of people. I know, example, for me, having quick access to my weather on my Apple Watch is something that I use quite often, especially in the morning when I'm deciding what I need to wear in the winter, because it gets cold here, but like our winter is... It's kind of weird because there will be some days where it's really nice and some days where it's really not. I think that having this directly on your status bar is awesome. I think that that's something that I would probably use. Again, I'm not jailbroken right now, so I can't use it, but once I'm jailbroken, I'll probably be downloading this.
Yeah, it just the icon looks really nice as well. It just displays the information right there, and it just looks so native. Again, it uses the default design language. And by the way, this is $199. So yeah, it's a really cool tweak. It's just something that has high design quality and it's stable. Clearly, a lot of work was put into this, and it's nice to see tweaks like this, especially when there's when we're in kind of a lull period like this, when there's not a jailbreak for the latest firmware. It's just nice to see stable tweaks of quality. So definitely. Once again, Meteor, $199.
So what does the next one do?
It's AppSort, and this one's available for free. This is actually really cool. It allows you to, so basically after you install it, you open up Activator, you set a gesture for the tweak, you perform that gesture, and it allows you to sort the icons on your home screen using specific criteria. So, for example, the most popular one is usage. You could sort basically the icons on your home screen by the app that you use most would be, towards the top, etc. And there's also various other options. For example, badges, the applications that have badges, alphabetical, color brightness, hue of the actual icon, random if you just want to get a random order. You can sort them by the reds, the colors, basically, in the app icons. But again, the most popular one is usage, because you could track basically what apps you use most, and you could kind of maybe incorporate that into your workflow, kind of learn what apps you use most. Maybe you could rearrange your home screen with the information. So, super cool tweak. What do you guys think?
So, if you're using the gesture to basically go ahead and use it with random. I was going to say, so does it like reset to just a completely random order every single time you unlock your device, or?
No. This tweak will disable. It basically is just something you could see temporarily, and then it'll go back to normal. So it's not like you're stuck with this layout. Everything goes back to normal. It's just basically if you just want to maybe look at it, a few times or whenever you want, you could just pull it up. But it's not like it's gonna delete your current layout.
There's no way to make it stay there like permanently.
No, yeah, it's just to kind of give you an idea of what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, what about that? Does it sort it depending on how many badges you have?
I haven't tested that. I'm someone who doesn't have any badges, little to no badges on their phone. So unfortunately, I just don't know. I'm pretty tidy about that stuff. So yeah. But again, either way, it's just a really cool tweak. So Justin, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I think like you said, for me, the thing that most would appeal about this tweak is the most used thing.
Right.
Because I quite frankly, I think it'd be interesting to know which apps I use the most. First of all.
Yeah, exactly. It's surprising, It's really surprising.
And second of all, obviously if I'm using them the most, I want to have access to them. I think the most used thing would definitely be nice, especially because I have like hundreds of apps on my phone, so it'd be kind of nice to have it narrowed down a little bit. And then, yeah, I mean, I think overall it sounds like a very good tweak. I can't complain that it is integrated with Activator either. I think that's absolutely fantastic that it's integrated with Activator, so there's definitely that as well. So yeah, great tweak, I think. Sounds like.
Sure, yeah. And it's, again, you had another like innovative idea, so I gotta commend the developer. It's just it works well, great idea. It kind of solves a real issue, because sometimes you might not know, okay, what apps do I use most? Maybe what should be the first app on my home screen? You might seem like you should know, but it's again, it can be surprising what you truly use most and what you think you use. So definitely go check it out. It's called AppSort. You can get it for free. So next up we have Flame. This is actually a really, really cool tweak. Basically, this allows you to customize Cydia to your liking. So back on iOS 8.4 and 8.3, Cydia received a massive update from Soric, basically, that allowed Cydia Substrate itself to actually modify the Cydia app. So that opens up the door for numerous tweaks similar to this one. So basically with this, you have various options. You could actually configure the default page in Cydia, so when you open it up, you could have it so it opens to a page other than the home page. You could have it so it opens to, let's say, sources or changes, etc. You could also add a pull to refresh option, which is really convenient. So you don't necessarily have to tap the refresh button. You could just pull to refresh. You could also disable the automatic refresh, how it automatically refreshes after a certain period of time. There's also a timeout. For example, if a specific source is giving you trouble and it's not loading, you could have it so after a certain amount of seconds, it'll just automatically give up and reload the data. There's numerous other options, like you could hold to copy sources, tons of color gradient configurations. There's a dark keyboard. It's just massive, and I really, really love this tweak. It just allows you to customize Cydia, so this is awesome. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing there is the loading thing that you mentioned for me, because my Cydia would spend ages and ages and ages loading, and it wouldn't stop. It would keep going, and then I'd have to hit cancel and close out the app, and then reopen the app and wait 20 more minutes for it to try to load, and then I don't know. This sounds really good to me.
Yeah, I've had that struggle numerous times. And you know what the worst thing is? The worst thing, I think they cut down on it, but there were certain repos that would always give you that really, really annoying App Store redirect thing.
I remember that. I haven't got that in a while.
It was really, really annoying. Yeah, I haven't gotten it in a while either, but back when that was like on every single repo where when you would go to download something, it would keep telling you App Store redirect, App Store redirect. And it was just so annoying because you couldn't, like, you'd have to close
I think they
out
got
of
so much
Cydia.
backlash that they had to take that out.
Yeah, I think a lot of that was probably up to their ad networks. So maybe they talked to their ad networks or switched their ad networks or something. So, because it's definitely much better.
Yeah, I haven't seen one of those ever, actually, in a long time. I don't think I actually ever saw one in iOS 9, to tell you the truth. I think that was in iOS 8.
Hey, by the way,
that I saw that.
Yeah, this tweak doesn't do anything for that. That's just a side note. Everything's the same in terms of like ads and everything. So yeah, again, definitely check this out if you're a fan of Cydia and customizing it. So is this something you'd use, David?
Yeah, I mean, if I was jailbroken still, probably. But yeah, I mean, I'm all for customizing Cydia because for a long time, Cydia had the exact same design, all the way up until really iOS 7 when Sark finally said, okay, we need to kind of update the way it looks because it's been a long time and it doesn't look like how it really should look for iOS 7 because all the, linen is there still and everything, and it just looks really, prehistoric. Felt. It just looks prehistoric, in my opinion. So
right.
It's a good thing they gave Cydia an update, and then after that, I think it was at some point last year around when this whole thing with iOS 8 and everything, he basically just said, okay, I'm making the change from root to mobile, and because of that, now you can, have tweaks built into Cydia that can modify the look of Cydia and different things like that.
Yeah, and let me tell you, like, for example, I'm always opening up Cydia directly to the Changes tab just to check out new tweaks that have been released. So if you set the homepage to Changes, it makes things much easier because you're just right there and you see everything immediately. So that's a convenient use. So once again, it's free. So I would say if you're jailbroken, this is a must-try. You just gotta try this out.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. So next up, we have Cabbage. Strange name, but really, really awesome tweak. Basically, what this tweak does is it allows you to queue up songs in the music app, basically add next to queue using a 3D touch gesture on the iPhone 6s. This is really convenient. So let's say I was playing one song. Basically, again, you just find any song in your list of songs, 3D touch on it, and you'll get the haptic feedback, which is really nice, and it'll just add that to the queue, so it'll play next.
Oh, man.
It's really awesome tweak. Like,
so this is kind of
this week. Holy crap!
Okay, so I'm referencing a previous episode. I don't remember exactly what episode it was, but I do remember there was this tweak that we talked about in a previous episode where we were saying, it's not implemented very well. It still needs, bugs are there. It needs to be ironed out. And we were saying, it's really a shame that somebody couldn't come up with a more Apple-like way of doing this type of thing where you just 3D touch and you can add it to your queue of songs or whatever. It really is a shame that somebody couldn't do that. So there you go. Now somebody found, figured out a way to do this. So that's good.
Yeah, and I tell you, it is, the implementation is just amazing. It's just immediate. It just works. I love this, but unfortunately, I use Spotify.
I really wish I was jailbroken.
Yeah, I mean, I use Spotify, so I won't be using this.
I love Apple Music.
I had it for the trial, but to be honest with you, I don't know. I've had Spotify for a long time, so I just figured I wouldn't change. All my music's already there, but I don't know. Maybe someday I'll transfer. I just don't really see the need. For an average user like myself, I don't really see anything that's compelling me to switch. I mean, it's basically the same price.
Question. If John Cena was on Beats One, would you switch? Yes or no?
Yes.
I knew it. There you go.
I would do it. The time is now by John Cena.
Apple, if you're listening to this, get John Cena on Beats One.
Yeah, if you want to get a for sure subscriber of Apple Music, then you need to get John Cena on Beats One.
I think he already is. I mean, it's on iTunes. The time is
No, but like I'm saying, the way how Beats One is with like how they bring people on.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, like a live guest. Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
I would hands down do that.
Yeah.
And also, quick shout out to the developer of this tweak, Creatix. I believe that's how you pronounce his name or his on-screen name. He appears to be a huge fan of country music because his music library in the screenshot has all country songs. I love a lot of those songs, so shout out to you. I'm a huge country music fan. So thank you for this tweak, and thank you for your...
Tell me it doesn't have This Is How We Roll on there.
It probably does, but it has some other great ones. So again, just shout out to you. I'm like a serious huge fan, so keep being
Does it have any Florida Georgia Line songs?
I can't see any, but again, they got some of my other favorite people, so just thought I'd shout that out. So once again, Cabbage is available for free.
It's a really
And-
ridiculous name. I just wanted to comment on that.
I know. I don't know what it could possibly mean.
It's like, honestly, they're running out of names. Like, they're going to start making, like, a tweak named, like, tomato, potato, orange,
it
apple.
seems like it. Like,
Potato.
over the past year, it seems like with iOS 9,
It's
this
just-
cycle has just been ridiculous with these names. I mean, they're great tweaks,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong.
You know what we need? We need another, like, Zeppelin or Zephyr or Oxo. One of those kinds of names that actually, like, sticks.
Yeah.
And even though it makes no sense, it actually sounds good.
Yeah, it's a memorable name, I guess you could say. And also, this works for the podcasts app as well, the stock podcasts app. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
nice.
So if you're a big podcast listener, you
Yeah.
can use it. So once again, Cabbage available for free.
Again, I mean, look at all these free tweaks this week, and look at how good all of these tweaks are. Oh, man. This episode is making me wish I was jailbroken more than any other episode. I cannot wait till Jailbreak comes out, because I hate being on stock iOS. It sucks, and I want out
bet it
of
does.
stock iOS.
The one thing I will say I like about stock iOS is the fact that my battery seriously drains so much.
How many tweaks do you usually have installed, David?
It differs depending on whether I'm reviewing some tweaks or not. Like, I'm constantly
Okay, on
uninstalling.
average, how many tweaks do you usually have installed?
I don't know. I'd say the main ones I always install first are like Oxo. Well, give or take, obviously, if they're updated. Oxo, Spring Tomise. Those are like the
Spring Tomise. I've heard that that's a battery drainer. I actually don't
Oh,
use it
yes,
on a
Spring
regular
Tomise
basis,
is a battery
but-
drainer. Yes.
Yeah, I've just given up, honestly, on my battery life. It's bad all the time. Because I use my phone very frequently,
Mine,
and I
I
have
haven't noticed a difference.
Well, it's probably because you're very, very careful with what you install. Like, Andy and I, we're careful, but, like, we have to do videos, so we install, like, everything.
You
I
know,
have,
it's
like,
funny.
everything installed.
I didn't used to be careful with what I installed, but I love this 6S so much now, and I love just the raw power and the raw speed of the phone, and I am careful what I install because I want to preserve that. So that's
Yeah.
just me personally, but
For me, what I love about the 6S Plus that I have, it's so powerful, like you said, that I actually don't notice improvement. Yeah, I don't notice speed improvements and lag from installing tweaks. I mean, occasionally there's that one tweak that really lags up the device, but for the most part,
Yeah.
it seems to just handle everything so well. But
Yeah,
again,
yeah,
you can look at
exactly.
it from either perspective.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I have to figure out what I have on my iPod, but and my iPod's like the only, right now, my iPod Touch 6th generation is the only jailbroken, besides my iPad, rest in peace, have no idea where that is. But
You keep losing your iPod. You've lost it like 4 times.
I know, it's just because, like, I never use it. It's just become this thing that I just, like, it sits there and it collects dust. I'm honestly debating
And then you
whether or
lose
not I
it.
should sell it.
And then you find it again, and then you lose it. Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyways,
No, but
continue.
I was just going to say, my iPod, like, randomly, and this happened on my phone, too, until I started uninstalling certain stuff, and then it kind of went away. But I've been experiencing on my iPod, I was just using it, and then I'd maybe double tap my home button for the app switcher or whatever, and then all of a sudden, like, it would work for a few seconds. All of a sudden, it just crashed into safe mode, and the Apple logo came up. Just randomly. I guess it's caused by something on my iPod, but when I was jailbroken on my iPhone, I would just, like, I'd be watching a video, and then all of a sudden my phone would just randomly respring. It wouldn't make
Yeah.
any sense. It would just,
Weird.
like, randomly respring.
that's weird.
It happens.
So, I don't know. That's kind of the one thing I'll say I don't miss about being jailbroken, because that is a little bit of a pain to have to always constantly be going through resprings and crashes and all that and not knowing what's causing all of it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't know. Again, you just gotta be careful, I guess, with your tweaks, or you may suffer. So once again, Cabbage, it's available for free. So next up, we have QuickClear. This is also available for free, and this is a really cool tweak. And this is yet another 3D touch tweak. Basically, if badges are on a particular app on your device, from the quick shortcut 3D touch from the home screen, there's actually a clear badge option, just built right into the shortcuts. You just,
Oh my
you know,
god. No way.
you release your finger on that or tap it, and it just clears the badges. It's seamless, and it looks very native.
I just had a Justin moment, sorry. But no, I don't know, like, when this was, I guess it was at some point when I was jailbroken. I was seriously thinking of this idea of, like, a tweak that you could 3D touch on the icons, 3D touch somewhere, like how you can, you know, because literally all of the time when I was jailbroken on my, and that's one of the things I miss about it, like, a lot, I had 3D Touch to clear notifications.
Yeah,
So
right.
I'd be able to just 3D Touch on my notification center to be able to just clear out all of those. And I really, really wanted that for badges because sometimes for certain apps, there's like certain apps that get a lot of badges.
Some of them just won't go away. They just
Yeah.
refuse to go,
Oh, I
even
know,
if you
I
view the
know.
notification. I
Oh,
hate that.
it's so annoying. Yeah.
So that's where I really would like this tweak because sometimes
true.
I just like the clean look and I don't like seeing all of those badges. So I would like to kind of clear them out.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
would
that's
definitely
great.
come in handy. Yeah.
And it tells you, basically how many notifications. It'll say one on red notification, for example, and it has a little nice glyph next to it too, which is great. So, yeah, this is a really quality tweak. But it's so simple; it just does exactly what it says. So, I'm assuming you'd use this, Justin, right?
Really wish I was jailbroken.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
It's just one of those tidying tools. You could just use to tidy up your device, kind of like 3D Touch to clear notifications. So actually, I'm not using for some reason. I don't know why. I need to install that, but
I use that tweak. I love that tweak.
Yeah. In conjunction, the two of those tweaks together would be like probably the best setup for me.
yeah, agreed. Yeah, 3D Touch has so many uses like that. Just like little things, these little annoyances.
And see, you know what I find interesting is like, Apple's supposed to have one of their first ever declines, and I think a lot of that is built upon the failure of 3D Touch. Because I am gonna be completely honest, I would call 3D Touch in stock iOS a failure. They did not do enough to implement 3D Touch into stock iOS. They really didn't do enough.
And it kind of showed when the iPhone 6s was jailbroken for the first time back when Pangu 9 came out, and then slowly we started to see these different 3D Touch tweaks kind of trickle in, and then it just kind of we started to realize that okay, there's a lot more that 3D Touch can do that Apple they didn't do.
They could have done so much more with 3D Touch on the 6S. I'm actually a little
it feels
disappointed
ridiculous
with Apple.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
When you look at all the 3D Touch tweaks that have been released to Cydia that Apple could have added, and I'll bet you they copy 90% of them in iOS 10.
Right. Another interesting thing I was just thinking about as well is that you could really say the same thing for Touch ID because they really have not, besides using it for iTunes and besides using it as a passcode, there's really no,
But
I mean, there's not really much you could do.
Yeah,
with
I was
that,
just gonna
right?
say, like, 3D Touch has more use cases than Touch ID does.
No, I know, but I'm saying in terms of, like, they really should allow you to lock down specific apps, like, on stock iOS.
Oh, yeah. And the thing is, though, is, like, if you're an average user, you notice Touch ID because you can set it up. It's in the setup process. Like, you can set up Touch ID, and it's there when you unlock your phone. So that's how you unlock your phone.
The way they have it, I was just gonna say the way they have it like set up, it's almost the way they have it, set up by default, like in iOS 9 with the 6S. It's almost kind of like if you don't know about everything that the 6S has that's new. If you were just handed the 6S and said, somebody whoever handed it to you said, "Hey, this is the latest iPhone," and didn't give you any intel about what was new about it, you wouldn't notice it at all because they didn't do a good enough job implementing it. Saying, okay, you want to do this, use 3D Touch. It's kind of just more of like a hidden feature type thing.
Yeah, I think that 3D Touch overall in the jailbreaking community has been the biggest thing that has been really revolutionized in the past few months.
Right.
I agree, and I think part of the reason why it didn't really take off with, I would say, mainstream customers is because generally mainstream customers, at least in my experience, they're not that into shortcuts, you know what I mean? Like, shortcuts I think are used, like keyboard shortcuts on computers, whether it be things like 3D Touch on, mobile devices. It's, for the average consumer, a lot of people don't use that kind of shortcut if they're not power users. So I think 3D Touch is kind of a power user thing, it lets you just quickly... For example, with this Cabbage tweak, you could just quickly queue something up by 3D touching, or maybe quickly get to a particular portion of an app easier by 3D touching. Like, average users generally aren't thinking like that, I think. I think they just use the device as it's intended without these shortcuts. So
Yeah.
I think it kind of makes sense. I mean, I like it.
Yeah.
But
But either way, QuickClear looks like a great tweak.
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm definitely interested to see what Apple decides to do with iOS 10. I feel like There
I'm excited.
definitely has to be a few new additions in terms of features. What I'm hoping for, really, I don't know what is going to be in store for 3D Touch, but I'm really hoping that they build on 3D Touch in some way or another.
Oh, they will. They will.
They haven't.
They will.
Well, but here's the thing. We were saying that with iOS 8, we thought they were going to build on, and iOS 9, we thought they were going to build on Touch ID like a lot more than they have, making it so you could lock down apps. I'm hoping that comes in 10, but really, I don't know if it will because they haven't done that thus far, and it's been just a blatantly obvious feature for the longest time.
You know what? I think that they will build on it, but I don't think that they will build on it to the extent that you're hoping, David. A big part of their marketing strategy right now is, like, look at it. They've got Force Touch trackpads, Force Touch on the watch, 3D Touch on the phone. That's a huge part of their marketing right now.
Right.
So I don't think they're going to ignore it, but what I will say is the parallels between iOS 9 and iOS 6 really, really astound me sometimes because 6 was a similar year to 9 where people were bashing Apple and Apple was, like people were not happy with 6, but iOS 6 was a power user's dream,
right.
And so was iOS 9, quite frankly. Like both of those versions of iOS were incredibly fast.
Right.
And,
Well,
iOS 9 is one of the best versions of iOS I think Apple's ever, in my opinion, one of the best versions of iOS that Apple's ever released. Now, that's just me personally because I'm a power user, and I think that the 6S with iOS 9 is easily the best thing that they've ever done.
Right.
But that's just my opinion.
Before I had the 6S, obviously I had the iPhone 5, and I ran iOS 8 jailbroken on the iPhone 5 up until the day I had to trade it in to get my 6S. And obviously it's jailbroken, so you notice things are possibly a little bit slower depending on what you have, installed. Going in, from jailbroken to stock and stock to stock or whatever, going from an A6 device all the way up until an A9 device, just the speed was ridiculous.
Oh, it would have been insane, yeah.
The speed was absolutely incredible. And the screen size made it all the more, all the more better. Just everything about the 6S, the improvement of the camera, it made me like really, really happy. I power use my phone as well, so when I power used on my 5, it was a little bit more difficult because things ran a little bit slower and it took a little bit longer. But now with the 6S, it's like a breeze.
I don't know if I'd really call myself a power user. I do pretty much everything on my phone in terms of, tweeting, obviously, writing stuff, watching videos, pretty much everything except for actually editing videos I do on my phone. But so I wouldn't really call myself a power user, and I've never really had an issue with speed on iOS because of that reason. But I definitely noticed, for example, with the 5S was a big speed increase because it had, 64-bit processor. I definitely just noticed everything was faster. But, yeah, I'm very happy with the 6S, honestly. I think it's definitely noticeably faster than the previous generation, and so is iOS 9. All
That's
right.
nice. Well, once again, that's QuickClear.
Yeah.
It is free.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that just about wraps it up. You guys have anything else you want to talk about?
I do, yeah. This thought came into my head. It's completely random, but I do remember on Twitter, I don't know what this was about, but I do remember you tweeted out a Taylor Swift link to
Oh, I
Shake It
did,
Off.
yeah. Yeah, I just said just your daily reminder to shake it off. 'Cause sometimes you have negative energy in your life, Negative things happen. You just got to shake it off. Okay?
What was that relating to? Was that just like random?
Yeah,
Just,
pretty
like,
much. It was
okay.
just it was some random advice. I'm an inspiring person. So
Yeah, I know
share
that
my
had like
insight.
nothing to do with anything, but I just wanted to know like why you tweeted that.
Well, I mean, hopefully this episode was not a negative experience for you. And,
Yeah.
Positive vibes, people.
Oh, it was
Positive
very
vibes.
positive for me. I can
Yeah,
say
me
that
as well.
much.
So
Yes.
thank you guys for joining me, and thank you guys for listening to this episode. And please, share Jailbreak Weekly with your friends, and share it with whoever you want to share it with, because we're just trying to do good for the community. So
Absolutely.
with that being said, I think that this wraps it up. We've got 30 episodes down, guys.
Yeah, that's a huge milestone, and I just want to
Crazy.
thank you guys for sticking with me throughout the whole, ride. It's been awesome. It's been quite an experience. I think we've all learned a lot, and it's been
Oh,
fun.
yes.
Definitely. Here's to 30 more episodes.
Yes,
Absolutely.
there's the 30 more.
Plus, getting to episode 50 and episode 100 is going to be ridiculous. So once we reach those
Yeah.
two, that's going to be crazy. But, yeah. Anyway, Justin, take it away.
Well, guys, that wraps this one up. Once again, thank you for listening. My name was Justin Wack, and I hope you guys have a wonderful morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever you may be.
See you guys.
Peace out.